session today is really about sharing, engagement, and taking advantage of the opportunity to have some thought leaders in the space discuss a topic that's very near and dear to our heart, which is influencer marketing. We are big believers in social, obviously, but also bigger believers in influencer marketing and the impact it's going to have on the marketplace and the opportunity it has for all of you.
Make sure you start by focusing your efforts. And that doesn't mean targeting everyone on earth that you think might be influential. Actually, starting with a well-selected, limited list of influencers is going to be more effective for most companies than starting with an enormous list. And finally, don't try to change the influencer's voice. It sounds crazy, but you would be surprised how many marketers try to control the message and the tone of the content the influencers they're targeting post. And you can't do it. If you try, you just wind up looking a bit silly and undermining your own program, right? Make sure that you're selecting a limited group of influencers, find incentives that work to get their attention without buying them off.
Content is still king, and now we call it content marketing. We'll call it something else in another 2 or 3 years, but it comes back to the importance of a lot what Nate was saying as well. This is the stuff you need to get out to the influencers, to be seen, to be heard, to get people engaged with you. When you think of agile content, it's responsive based on the data that you're pulling through, based on your understanding of how people are sharing this content once it's out there. So if you've got your brand and you've developed this understanding of who's influential about it, what kind of content they like to share, what kind of content is most picked up. This doesn't happen overnight. This you develop kind of the muscles for over time.
Purgatory is knowing with certainty that things have changed and yet your brand or business does nothing about them. So if I were to ask you, do you think that social media is a fad, that it's going to go away, that people using technology to connect is going to stop? Ridiculous, right? The real convergence is happening right now. We're seeing the integration of technology, the digital stuff into our physical lives, and the physical becoming very digital too. The one thing that you can affect right now though is the brand narrative. Brand narrative is what's the story you tell. Most brands fail this because they take this big idea and they try and make it work online or in mobile. It's a big mistake. Where I think the opportunity is to create many big ideas within each channel in terms of how you're trying to connect best to your customer and what that means. And so hopefully to sort of bring it all together for you, see a very different business landscape for yourself as a marketer.